Alright, so here we are taking a full tour of this 1TB Batocera build for the Steam Deck handheld console. This particular build has over 21,470 retro video games included on it, so the collections here are quite massive. We're going to take a full tour, starting out with the All Games list. This is our master list. This is where you can find literally every single title that's included on here, listed in alphabetical order. So we can scroll down, you can see the layout within the collection. So we have video previews on the left, we have a text list with logos for each title on the right hand side, description down there in the bottom left corner, some additional information on the title, when it was released, the genre of the game, as well as how many players can play it, developer of the title, all of that good stuff. So we'll continue just kind of scrolling through here. There is audio for all of these video previews here. I just have the volume turned down for the sake of this video. We also have a nice background there, logo up there on the top. Really nicely put together here across the board. So because we're going in alphabetical order, you can see everything right now is 007 because we're in the numbers. But if I just hold this down, and we can scroll really quickly, or we can actually go in here and custom search for titles by jumping to specific letters. So if we wanted to look up Sonic, for example, we could jump to the S titles and easily access everything within there. So I'm going to back out, continuing on. Here's a favorites collection. This is a collection you can put together, just add in all of your favorite titles, and then you can just easily access them. So we're going to continue on. So first collection here is Amstrad CPC. Over 1,800 games in this collection alone. So you can see how this is laid out. Really cool background there. Great previews. And of course, we've got the logos on the right-hand side. So you're not going off of just a text list. You have the logos to go off of there. So back out. Here's Amstrad right here. This particular collection has 21 titles in it. Really cool background there with Batman. We'll take a look at Batman right here. Love the old retro TV there. Controller as well for this particular system. We'll continue on. So we'll back out, and every time I back out I'm just hitting the B button on the handheld itself. But love that Michael Keaton background for Batman. It's my favorite Batman there. Here we have MAME, so this is going to be all of your classic arcade games within this collection. This particular collection has 600 titles. We'll take a look in here. Lots of classic games for the old school arcade. We'll back out. Here we have Final Burn Neo. Lots of great titles in here as well. Over 2,500 games in this particular collection. Back out of that one. Here we have Atari ST. Really overlooked collection right here in my opinion. Over 200 titles. We'll back out. Here's Atari Lynx. Inside here we have over 80 titles. Love the background on this collection too. Backing out. ColecoVision. Inside of here we have over 130 titles. Back out. Commodore Amiga 600. Inside here we have over 2,200 titles. This is a new collection for me. I've been enjoying some of these really retro games inside of here. Lots of cool stuff. Continue on. Commodore 64. Inside here we have over 4,000 titles. So you're going to recognize some of these from other collections, but these are a different version entirely, specifically for Commodore 64. Here we have CD-TV. Lots of cool stuff to explore in here, and that collection has 15 titles total. Here we have Amiga CD 32, 138 games in here. Here we have Channel F. and this collection has just 20 titles. Intellivision here with 124 games. Here we have MSX1, over 600 titles in here. Here we have Classic PC, over 130 titles here, lots of classics. The Secret of Monkey Island is probably my favorite in here, but lots of great stuff. Moving on, we have Xbox, just 7 titles here. These are really large, and in all honesty, Xbox is very limited with Batocera right now. So all of these do work extremely well. You can see we have everything scraped nicely, which is often hard to find with this particular collection, but everything here is looking really good. So we'll continue on. TurboGrafx 16, over 230 titles in here. TurboGrafx CD with 100 titles. SuperGrafx, 9 games in here. NES, over 1,000 games. I believe it's actually closer to 1,100. Literally everything for NES. Old school Game Boy, over 400 titles here. Love the background there that we have what looks like the original console. Super Nintendo, over 700 titles here. All your favorite games. Nintendo 64, 177 games total. Probably one of my favorite collections right here. Game Boy Color, over 500 titles in here. Again, very similar to the original Game Boy in terms of how it's laid out here, but obviously we have the color console rather than just the grayish color. Here we have Nintendo GameCube, over 65 titles in this particular collection. Lots of amazing games in here. Game Boy Advance, over 1,000 Game Boy Advance games. Again, we have that original Game Boy Advance console there where the video previews populate in. Nintendo DS, over 190 titles here. Nintendo Wii, we have 5 titles. Now, this is a tough collection because of the nature of the controls here. You could add more of these titles on here, but you would have to have a main flash dolphin bar attached to this, which you could certainly do, along with the original controls. It would make it a little bit awkward. You'd really want to play that docked. You wouldn't want to play it as a handheld, but certainly possible. Here we have Wii U, 7 games in here. Lots of great stuff. Moving on, inside this collection right here, 13 titles. Lots of really cool stuff. Open Bore, 100 games inside here. Definitely recommend the Open Bore collection. Lots of really cool stuff to explore. We have some ports here. Pie Game, which is a trivia game. It's pretty cool. Atomis Wave, we have 30 games inside of Atomis Wave. Here we have Sega Master System, over 500 titles. Sega Genesis, over 970 titles. Sega Game Gear, over 290 titles. Sega Model 2, inside here, 30 titles. or just over 30 titles. Some amazing games in this collection as well. Here we have Sega Saturn, over 300 titles for Sega Saturn. Love having these titles on a handheld. We have Sega Model 3 here. Lots of great stuff. Sega Dreamcast, over 100 titles. Sega Naomi, over 70 titles. Neo Geo System, over 140 titles. You're going to find all your Metal Slug games in here too. These are my favorite games for this particular collection. Here we have SNK Neo Geo CD. Here we have Neo Geo CD. Over 25 titles in this collection. Neo Geo Pocket, 9 games. Neo Geo Pocket Color. This collection has 47 titles. Here we have PS1, over 600 games for PS1. PS2, you're going to have 39 games for PS2. PSP, 23 games for PSP. LCD games, 32 titles in here. So your old school Game & Watch games. Really cool to go through here and actually experience these. Definitely takes you back if you were playing these a really long time ago. And that is the entire build. We're back to our all games list. Again, over 21,470 titles on this Batocera build for the Steam Deck.